Hi, everybody. Welcome to the preview of Money Talks, owning your financial journey one conversation at a time. I'm so excited that you have chosen to join this preview conversation to see if this course and this cohort experience are right for you. Today, we're going to be talking about what the cohort is, doing a couple of sample activities from the cohort, and just getting an idea and having an opportunity for you to answer your questions. Talking about money can be super stressful and super hard. I know that's why many of you are here. So I want to start by actually giving us all a chance to just relax and be for a moment. So if it's comfortable for you, I'd like you to close your eyes. If that's not comfortable for you, feel free to just turn away from the screen and just look off into the distance so that you aren't focusing on me or anything like specific in your surroundings. Okay. We're going to use a technique called box breathing. This is one of my favorite relaxation techniques. If you've not heard of it before, it's very simple. You're going to breathe in for 4 counts. You're going to hold that breath for 4 counts. Breathe out for 4 counts, and then just hold for 4 more counts. That's the box. All right. So I'm going to start us with the first sequence, and then you can breathe for a couple of repetitions at your own pace, okay? So don't feel like you have to go at the pace that I set. All right, here we go. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, and hold. Just repeat that a couple more times. All right, if you'll come back to the room with us, hope that you felt that sensation of relaxation and that allowed you the opportunity to maybe be just a little bit more present as we go through tonight. So I want to start with just some conversation amongst us. This is going to be very interactive and engaging. If at any time you do feel a little bit stressed or like this is too much for me, feel free to just turn off your camera and just breathe for a minute. That's totally okay if you feel that way. But hopefully we'll keep the stress level pretty low and just have some nice conversations. So I have a couple of questions as we get started. First of all, what are some of the money conversations, or who do you talk about when you're talking about money? Who are some of the people that you have to talk to about money?
Grandkids.
Grandkids?
My
Spouse.
father.
I heard spouse, and then Lisa, what did you say?
I said spouse.
Spouse. Okay, very good.
Uh,
Say that again, Kitty.
Partner. I think she said partner.
Partner. Okay.
My
Parents.
parents.
Parents. Yeah. Anybody else?
I see parents in the chat.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I forgot to open the chat. Let me do that.
Husband and kids in the chat.
Husband and kids. Very good. Excellent. All right, all wonderful examples. As you think about those conversations, which ones are the hardest to have? Could be a specific conversation type, or it could be topics or any of those sorts of things. What's hardest to have?
How much my adult kid is spending on Amazon purchases is my hardest conversation.
I might need somebody to have that conversation with me, Andy, but that's a very good one. What else? I see discussions about after death. Absolutely. Those are very hard to have. And we could be having those with
Discussions.
ourselves, with our partner, with our parents, with other adults. Excellent. Lisa, did you say one?
No,
Nope,
I think it
I
was
no, I
missed one.
was I was starting to say, starting to have conversations with parents about like long-term care and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Those conversations about what our wishes are at the end of our life are difficult to have again with everybody in that area. Any others you can think about that are hard to have?
Having ones with kids about when they need to start paying for their own things sometimes
Yep.
can be difficult.
There you go.
Yep. Yep. Building that independent. Everybody wants the independence, but nobody wants to pay for it. Yeah, absolutely. That is very good. Very good. One more question as we get started here. Why do we struggle to have these conversations? What makes them so difficult?
The unknowns,
The unknowns. Can you say more about that, Andy?
because you don't know how people are going to react. If you haven't had regular money conversations with people, you don't know how they're going to react to what you want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And Christy, I saw you come off mute, but then you were nodding. Did Andy say what you were thinking, or was there something else you want to add to that?
No, just that the how people will react or respond to what you're bringing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Other reasons we might struggle to have these conversations or feel that sense of resistance?
I mean, I guess same thing. It's out of love, right? It's because we care about the person that we don't want to bring it up.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
general discomfort of talking about money with people.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Well, in this course that we are talking about, we're actually going to have conversations around four specific domains. And you all named a couple of them, but there are a couple of others that I want to point out as we're talking about. So the first one is getting clear about what you want about money. I know there's what that phrase, it's the sign of insanity if you're talking to yourself, but I have some really good conversations with myself. I don't know if anybody else does or not, but I always get the answers I want when I talk to myself. And so we're going to talk about how we get clear with ourselves about what it is we want or need in a specific situation. Next, we're going to talk about how we have conversations in our home. And a home can be a really wide range of things. As you'll either know about me or you'll learn about me, I'm not married, I don't have kids. So those are two typical areas that people think about in your home. But I do have a housemate, so I do actually share expenses with her. She's also my travel buddy, and we travel together a lot, which requires a lot of conversation about money. And then while I don't live with them anymore, I still consider my parents and my older siblings to be a part of my home. There's another place we could stick those folks too if you don't consider them part of your home. So we'll talk about that in a minute, since you've already identified those conversations. One that was missing from some of the ones that you all mentioned is in our work. We are in an economy where most of us trade our time for money. We do a job in order to get paid so that we can do the other things that we really want to do. If we're really lucky, our work is missional, it connects to our values, and it's deeply meaningful for us. But for others of us, it really is just a trade of time for money, and we want to get the best return on that investment. So we'll talk about some of those conversations as well. And then finally, we interact with a world that is fueled by money. And so learning and understanding some of the tools and resources that can help us in the world of money is also going to be a part of this course if you choose to join. So let's talk a little bit more about how this course is structured. And it's really around three different sets of tools that we're going to build for your money toolbox. And I call this the clarity cycle. So first of all, we're going to learn how to name it. We're going to learn how to get clear on what you want, know what it is, whether that's with yourself, whether that's with you and a partner, you and your kids, any of those folks, we're going to name it first. Then we're going to frame it. This is what most people think about when they think about money and money conversations. It's all of the nitty-gritty details, like figuring out the spending plan and the budget and the investment strategy and all of those sorts of things. And I've got some tools to add to your toolbox for this as well. And then finally, we're actually going to claim it. We're going to use our voice and we're going to practice a lot of having money talks in this course. The course is structured into sort of three different parts. You'll notice the number three quite often as a cycle because it's easy to remember things in threes. We'll do live cohorts much like this that'll be very interactive. This is probably the longest you will ever hear me talk in any one of these cohorts. And in just a minute, I'm going to stop talking and we're going to do an activity. There are also going to be one-on-one calls with me. Every person or couple gets two of those. If you want to take this with a partner or a spouse or a kid, we'll do that. And then we'll also have the live community and course that is really sort of a choose your own adventure style. So if you're like, no, I really need to know how to have that negotiation conversation about my salary, you can dive right into that video lesson and that course. So let's look at one of the samples of one of the activities that we would do in this course. We're going to talk about money based on four different pillars: spending, giving, saving, and earning. Now, most of the time, spending and giving get condensed, but I actually believe it's very important to have giving as its own separate pillar in your money life. I'm not going to try to, advise you or ask you to give to lots of different things, but I think you need to think about giving a little bit differently than spending. So you'll see this pillar throughout the course. But I want to talk specifically about that earn category, and in fact, invite you to talk about that earn category for just a minute, which is especially nice since that was one of the areas where we struggled to identify that we have money conversations around earning. So this is an exercise I call the feedback loop. It's very, very simple. The goal of it is to have you think about a time when you've done something well, describe that to other people, and have them feed that back to you. Now, you might be thinking, well, I already know what I did well. The difference is that when someone else describes it to you, you may hear nuances that you aren't thinking about or that you are missing. This is an excellent tool to use, especially if you are updating a resume or updating a LinkedIn profile or preparing for a salary negotiation, to go through the things that you know you're good at and have them fed back to you so that you can think about them in new and interesting ways. So Andy is going to divide us into breakout rooms. And I think we're going to do triads for this. So in your triad, we'll do about 9 minutes. So each person will get about 3 minutes to tell their story and to get feedback from each person. And we'll pop around to make sure everybody's got enough time. So the first person is going to respond to the prompt. What did someone thank you for or recognize in you recently? Okay, so you're going to have to be thinking about what has someone thanked you for or recognized in you recently. The other people are going to are going to listen carefully, and they're going to restate the value that was found in the person. Okay. Any questions about that? Make sense? Seems simple enough?
Yeah.
All right.
How many minutes?
Let's do 9 minutes, Andy.
Okay.
And then you'll repeat that for every person in the group so everybody gets a chance to go.
For recording purposes, I left one group in the main room, Kara. So I
Excellent.
left you as the leader here. So I'm going to go to the other room.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right.
Is it 3 and 3?
Oh,
Oh, okay. We have
There you go. There you go. You got 3 of you.
And I was kind of a little harsh on myself. And the feedback I got from my manager was really, really good. And I guess that like they rate you from 1 to 5. I probably did a 3, 4, meets and exceeds expectations. You remember all of that. But she gave me a 5 and she gave me great feedback. And it just made me realize our self-perceptions of ourselves are not generally accurate unless you really know yourself really well and are super honest and looking in the mirror. And I think I'm a pretty genuine person, but I didn't hit the mark, and she gave me great feedback. So
Good.
I felt really good about that.
Awesome.
And a good conversation and validating.
Good. What was something that she recognized in you?
Helping others.
Oh, very good.
My fellow coaches and of course my clients.
Yeah.
But like willing to like help my really my work group, I think she was referring to.
Yeah. So you're a good teammate and a good team player.
Okay, I think so, but as I said, I may not be the best judge, but yeah, I guess so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It sounds like you bring um, a lot of encouragement to your workplace.
Yeah.
Is that the idea, Kara? I mean,
Yeah, you got it.
yeah,
That's
sorry,
exactly it.
okay. And Lisa, I mean that genuinely. I just
Yeah.
also want to make sure I was worried.
I
Yeah.
think that's sort of my habit in life. I always want to, even if someone's not asking for it, I always try, I always offer it, right? Like to
Yeah.
help people or to have empathy. And that's not always what they're looking for, but
Yeah.
And I think from what I'm hearing, there's an element of taking initiative that you might not necessarily recognize of
Hmm.
you seek out ways to add value. You seek out ways to support your coworkers. You seek out ways to support your clients and go above and beyond what their expectations are.
that's interesting.
Very good. Excellent.
Okay, do we rotate now?
Yeah, absolutely. Who wants to
Okay.
go next? All right, Christy, you go for it.
I was recognized for making people feel welcome and at home.
Excellent. Very good. And do you feel like that's an accurate reflection of you?
It's what I would like to
Good.
be an accurate perception.
Okay, good.
Yeah, most of all, I want people to feel comfortable
Right.
and
Hmm. Well, it sounds like your goal aligns with your actions. So if other people have given you that feedback, that should really kind of validate that you're acting in a way that is true to yourself, right? And your how do you say like I can't remember the term, but like what you present to the world and what's inside, like that, the yin yang thing. It sounds like you're in balance, actually. That's a great place to be.
Yeah, and I also, going off of that, I think that you're there's you're willing to, or you're interested in service, in helping others, in providing um, support in ways that, again, like go beyond their expectations, or that you might not even think about ways in which you're doing it, but you naturally have that in you, which is really interesting and really cool.
And I think that creating a sense of welcome requires being comfortable where you are and being authentic where you are. And so that I think is a skill in and of itself to just be able to be comfortable in a situation so that you can make others feel comfortable in that situation.
thank you. It's oddly uncomfortable being the one people are saying nice things about.
Right?
It is, isn't it? Oh,
I think we're just brought up to kind of push it off and be
yep,
modest. We're brought up to be modest for some reason. And
absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right, Mark, your turn.
Mark, you're up.
Take the
Mark, by
field,
the way, I
yeah.
will just say this, Mark, you give very good feedback. Like you're
Oh, thank you.
exceptionally good. I would want you in every group in this activity. You're very good at that. Sorry, Andy, I stepped on you. What did you say?
That's okay. I was just going to say part of it's our field because there are people out there that are very status driven and they're going to be happy to share
Mm,
all the feedback that they've gotten that is fantastic about them.
yeah, that's true.
So,
And it's all fantastic feedback, right?
Yeah.
everyone. All right, Mark.
So I was recently recognized for giving good feedback.
I wondered if you would do that.
You are too funny.
Well, actually, that actually has been a piece of feedback that I've been given throughout my career as well of I think being able to recognize and see and highlight the things that people are doing well, um, and not necessarily focusing on the negative bits, while providing constructive feedback as well. But I think there's um, a mindset of how do we promote positive behavior? How do we promote um, people doing the things that they do well and using those strengths? So I have actually been recognized that in the test as well. So
It sounds like you, which I would agree with, having been in groups with you help people see the positive in themselves as much as you um, acknowledge and know it and see it. And that can help promote a better sense of wanting to do those positive things, which is a great cycle to create. So that's awesome.
thank you.
Yep. And it sounds like, from my experience in being in the cohorts with you, you have a genuine, I don't know, interest or a genuine drive to help people, and in a very calm manner. Like, I know I can escalate pretty quickly, in a good way, not like not aggressively. And I feel like your even temper is helpful to other people, especially if you're giving feedback to someone who is escalated. Your balance is a good thing in that dynamic, if that makes sense.
And Mark,
Interesting.
I think both from the feedback you shared with us as well as just being in the cohort with you, I think you're a strengths-based person, and you are sort of interested in helping people develop their strengths, whether that's a match for the role that they're in now or helping them find a role that is a good fit for those strengths. I think you're very good at that. So
Mm.
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, welcome back
Wow.
to oh, go ahead, Lisa.
No, I just said, wow, that I didn't realize we were over so fast.
Welcome back to the other group. How did that go for everybody? How'd that feel?
A little uncomfortable.
Okay.
It was genuine. I just felt like we were just acting as good human beings to each other.
Mhm. Feedback from the other group?
I think it's nice to, so sometimes like if someone sends a positive message, we kind of just like gloss over it. So to kind of come back to it with a group and reflect on it, it really brings it to the forefront.
Yeah, yeah. One of the tools that you'll find in the course is what I call the smile file. You might have heard of this before, but if you haven't, this is a quick win everybody can take, and that is to create a place that you put those positive notes that you get from people. Whether it's a comment somebody said to you that you just jot down a piece of paper and toss in that file, or if it's an email or a recognition letter or something like that, toss that in. I have for many years kept mine on the side of my desk. And when I'm having a rotten day, I will just browse through that smile file, to remind me that, hey, it's not all bad. There's good stuff here too. That smile file, again, if you're going to prepare for that new job or for that work negotiation of your salary, it's also a really good source of information for that tool as well. So that is just one example of the types of activities that we might do in this course. And I hope that you will consider joining us, and I'll put the sales information in the link in the email to you after the session. Thank you.
Button didn't want to go.